What's up, everybody? Speed is Life 35. I'm back with another video today. Today, I'm going to be doing basic maintenance to my car. Um, just today, I'm going to be changing the spark plugs on my car. I already changed the oil in it, but like last week or so, didn't really feel like I needed to make a video for that. I guess, I've assumed everybody know how to change the oil on their cars, depending on how mechanically inclined you are. But today I'm just gonna change the spark plugs on my car. Excuse me. And I got the Iridium's NGKs. To me, that always been the best plug for it. Um, Went there and paid like $70 at advance, something like that. So today, just get to the point where I can hear it kind of pop like on the exhaust when the first cold start up, like a little, like slight back misfire. Or so I know it's about that time for spark plugs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to it now. All right, here's the NGK spark plugs. Both speaker right here to keep the music going. But yeah, that's my spark plugs right there. And I'm about to be getting to it today. Engine cover's a little dirty. Let's get to. All right. So what I've done so far is I took the cover off the top. And as you can see, there is one, two, three, I guess push clamps or whatever you want to call it. That's sitting right there. And what happens is the only thing you gotta do to the cover is literally each one I'm going to each side, pop them up, and it pops right off. So I've taken initiative. I went ahead and took my hose off from my airbox. Then I came over here, and down here, right here, you can see it's a clamp. Let me see if you can see. So right here, it's a clamp, and it doesn't do nothing. It's not a screw, nothing. It just pops, push straight up, pops right off. So then I come further back here, and right here, I'll loosen the with a flathead right here to take this clamp off. Took loose my mass airflow sensor. And then this whole thing right here comes out. The whole airbox tube, I guess, to help silence some of the noise that's going inside the coming from the intake. And then that's what leaves you with this side here. So these three right here, plugs right here, these right here, nothing but 10mm bolts. That's fine and dandy to get to. The only thing, the reason why a lot of people have to take off on the Pin Stars, is because the manifold off on the Pin Stars, because how the manifold sits over is slumped over, and you can't access the other three like you would be able to access over there up under here. So then you have to take these off, of course, one by one or whatever, but I'll show you when I get to that. Alright, so I just pulled the plugs out. This is what they're looking like. Yeah, these things here are done. And right here, there's a new plug that's going in. Big difference. The thing about that is, I knew they was going bad. Like, I could smell it. When I get on, I smell fumes. So it's like it's leaving leftover fumes inside, the combustion chamber. That can kill your gas mileage and your performance of your engine. Makes it less responsive whenever you like step on the full throttle, because you're not getting that spark or combustion cycle that you need in your engine. But as you see right here, I pulled the coil packs off. These three right here. There's nothing but holding them right here. Nothing but 10mm bolts. That's all I was using. 2mm socket for these 10mm bolts. Using an extension, I went double up, which I really didn't need to. I come to find out I have a little bit extra what I need, but I mean, you can never have too much. So I pulled these from the actual head itself, and that's what it's looking like. Everything good inside. And one thing that I always check, you might want to check your throttle body right here and make sure you have no oil, nothing residue build up. If so, that was a good thing to go in and clean up, wipe it down. Because sometimes, getting too much oil in that can cause, the throttle body to mess up, not open and close like it's supposed to, and sometimes potentially short it out. But I keep a towel right here too, because I take the towel and I wipe around everything, because I don't want no dirt and debris, anything to fall down inside the engine and then you talk about having a nightmare, probably buying yourself a new engine at that point. So I'm about to put those 3 new iridium spark plugs back in, and then I'm about to be taking off this intake manifold next. Alright, so I was able to get the intake manifold loose, and what I have to go through, it's a little bit of work you have to do. It's not very hard. The only thing you have to be is mechanically inclined some kind of way in order to get this off. But hopefully my video helps you to see, exactly what to do. So right here on this bracket right here, which it's already disconnected by the way, it will be through this bracket here. So this right here is a 10mm bolt. I couldn't get to it because this hose right here is a very stiff hose right here, and it has, so you can't really get to it with a ratchet. So what I did was I took a where is it at? A 10mm combination wrench, and I got in between this hose for this in this bracket to be able to pull this off the bracket, this nut off the bracket. Then it's gonna be these clips right here attached to the intake manifold right here. So the only thing you do is lightly pull back on those, and they pull straight off. Then it's gonna be another bolt down here, right here. There's gonna be another 10mm coming through this bracket here. So you use the same thing on this right here. I was able to use a ratchet, but you can use a combination wrench, whatever you want to call it, opening wrench, however you want to call it. So it's gonna be one right here, and it's gonna be another right here. So let's make 2. 1, 2. Then you come around to the back. There's nothing really much on this side that's really holding it. So a lot of the work is done from this side and the front. So I had to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's gonna be another one back here, 7. And those are 7 8mm bolts that you have to take loose in order to get to it. And I took that apart, screw it out. Those comes out very easy. And then you will have to come over here. I seen videos of people saying, disconnect the throttle body position sensor and all this other kind of stuff. And I left it on alone. The only thing I did was leave that on there, and I was able to pivot, swivel the intake manifold. But I did have to take off these PVC hoses and stuff like that, coming right here to the back of the throttle body. Take off 1 hose, 2 hose, and I was able to just take a flat head and with the other hand and stick the flat head and lightly pry back and forth, and I was able to bring that both of those hoses off very easy. Then there's right here, it's going to be this bracket right here. It's kind of headache, but you can get it if you just really try. I mean, there's nothing much to it. So right here, this is this bracket here. This bracket here goes to right here on the side of the manifold. And what it does is it's one right here, 1 10mm bolt here. And if you can see right here in the back, there's going to be another 10mm bolt back there. What this does is it holds the back of the throttle body by the manifold on. I'm sorry, I can't talk. And 2 10mm bolts, and I was able to pull it off with ease. So, but before I could actually pull the bracket off, it's a stud nut down there like this. That's a 13mm that you have to pull off before you can even pull the bracket off to be able to pull the manifold off. And where it sits right down here. I don't know if you can see it. My finger's pointing right here. See the hole right there for it? That 13 goes through this bracket and right here in the back of the engine block, and that's what's holding all this together for me to keep from moving it. So in order to slide it off from the passenger side to the driver's side, because you see these right here brackets here, these studs right here. So in order to slide it that way, I had to take that loose in order to slide the whole entire thing that way. And actually really worked out pretty easy. After that, Now as you can see, the whole manifold, I can pick it up and just take it and pivot with ease. So what I did on this case here, check, I check, make sure no debris, nothing going down inside my intake runners or nothing like that, or check the back of my valves. It looked pretty good. Expect them out. I'm only right at almost like 50,000 plus miles on the car, whatever. And then I'm just going to repeat the same thing I did on that side to this side here. And it's just a styrofoam to keep the manifold from rocking back and forth on top of these here. And I'm just going to repeat the same thing I did to that side. All right. So just successfully pull the other side out, got the other plugs out. One thing I forgot to notate too, whenever you're pulling your plugs, make sure you're checking your plugs to make sure that there's no oil build up around the plugs. It could be that head gasket, but valve cover could be leaking or anything like that. Get fuel oil getting inside the combustion chamber. That's what you don't want. Also, that the new plugs here, I make sure I check the forms and even call the Dodge dealership. The spark plug gap on these cars here are 0.43 thousandths gap. That's when you take right here. That's just how far like that chrome silver piece is from the stud right there. That's just in distance. Plus you can go whenever you get your plugs to get you like a spark plug gapper right here. End up with $2-3 wherever you get it, and they'll tell you exactly how far to go until you reach that mark for it. But yeah, everything's going good so far. So I'm about to get to the point to put everything back together. I see you then. All right, so everything's complete. Get everything back together except for the engine cover on top. It wasn't bad. Like I said, if you can get that far with it, take everything off, do steps like I said, you'll be able to get there. And do that. It's nothing to it. It might take you maybe an hour and a half. It depends on if you're rushing to get it done. You might do it in 30 minutes. But there's no rush, man. I ain't got nothing to do besides go to work later. One thing that I did point out to myself though, a lot of people are gonna ask me what this lime green wire here is. That is a 2-aught wire, not 0 gauge. That is 2-aught. So if you don't know, I'm into car audio and I have a pretty decent system inside my car. So it takes a lot of power, and the stock 180, 160, 180 amp wasn't cutting the power, or wasn't cutting it for me. So I needed up my amperage of my alternator. So that's when I went off aftermarket, and I have a MechMan down here. I want a bad alternator. I went from like I say a 160 or 180 to a 370 amp alternator on here, and that's why I have the 2-aught run off the back to there, the zero positives. The 2-aught positive, and I have my ground right here going to chassis, and I have a ground going to the back batteries, yada yada. I have 2 batteries, but yeah, I'll make a video about that another day. But yeah, that's my MechMan. Got it powder coated, match the car or whatever. Think about changing this belt out soon. Don't look like I need it, but hey, while waiting for maintenance until maintenance do it, to go ahead and maintenance it. So yeah, all right, let's start it up. Good, I was here skipping and missing the beat. Sound good, boy. Real good. Yeah, I used to skip and stuff, but now it's not skipping. Nice, smooth running. That's how it's supposed to sound. Alright, you guys, I'm about to end this video here. Stay tuned. I said there's more to come. I went ahead and got the spark plug stuff out the way. Eventually, like I say, I'm thinking about either doing an engine swap to this thing,
or doing a motor swap. I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. Not really sure yet. If I do engine swap, I'm thinking about like going Scat Pack, or Hellcat even. I see a guy on there. I can't remember his YouTube name, by the way. Um, he did the swap already, the Hellcat swaps, and he's doing them from a fairly decent price. So I might be looking at him to go ahead and send my car to this way and go ahead and get my Hellcat swap done in my car. I mean, I don't know what the future holds. Might keep it, might get rid of it. I don't know. But stay tuned for next one, man. Good seeing y'all. Good being here, be able to put the content out. I'll get back at y'all with the next one, man. Y'all have a good